Now remember when Elon Musk, everybody, people get mad at me because I've been critical of him in stark contrast to covering him so positively. But I'm just trying to be fair and balanced. And I remember being extremely excited when Elon Musk bought Twitter. I thought he was going to finally unlock it. He was finally going to make it available for everybody. And he was going to get rid of the stupid shadow bans and the deboosting and all this stuff. Well, it's been about a year, I believe, and he's done none of that. People are still getting shadow banned. He never answers any questions about shadow banning. He also rolled out their own version of shadow banning in a thread in which they talk about lawful but awful speech. And they outright say that awful speech will be deboosted, or it's just a different word for shadow banning. That's all fine and dandy, but who decides what is in fact awful speech? That was the problem with Twitter 1.0. When they deployed a Twitter trust and safety team, which had people like Yoel Roth and Vijaya Gadde, who banned a sitting president, who worked directly with intelligence agencies like the CIA and the FBI, Homeland Security, FBI agent Elvis Costello, or whatever, not Costello, but Elvis Chan in California to ban United States citizens, to infringe on United States citizens' First Amendment rights. Remember the whole Twitter files expose? Well, very little has changed. We're going to get into the new terrible decision they've made after a super quick word from this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. I've been very critical of Twitter's recent decisions, all of which are being made now that Elon Musk has left the company. I do not believe, like many do, that Elon is like unaware of these changes. Elon spent half of his fortune to buy this website. There is no part of me that doesn't believe he doesn't completely sign off on all of these decisions. Many of the things that Elon has done, I strongly disagree with. For example, deboosting posts on X/Twitter that link back to my own YouTube videos. Or if I want to link somebody, he wants you to upload the content to Twitter. Well, I don't want to upload my videos to Twitter, okay? They didn't get much reach anyway, and it just cost me a bunch of money because people will watch it there. And guess what? It matters when you have 5 employees. I don't like that he screwed over all the journalists who had Substacks that were paying their livelihoods. Now, I understand why he did it, but banning links off the site is also something that already big tech does. Facebook has done it for years. YouTube has done it for years. And so Twitter doing it does not surprise me. It only surprises me because Elon promised he wouldn't do it. Then Elon made a huge display, display about dissolving the trust and safety team. Remember that? Remember when Yoel Roth had to go in front of Congress or whatever on the Hill and going to Capitol Hill and answer for all the nefarious things they did in terms of manipulating Trump's account and in my opinion trying to affect the outcome of the election. Oh yeah, I want to add also, yeah, Twitter still doesn't allow links to BitChute, or InfoWars. Why? I guess the alternative is, sure, upload it to Twitter, but if your revenue stream is off of Twitter, you no longer, it's lost a lot of value for people. When he dissolved, I mean, this is a big deal when he dissolved the trust and safety team. Here's a Reuters article about it. Or not the Reuters article, NPR. Yeah, Musk's Twitter has dissolved its Trust and Safety Council. This was December 12th of last year, not even a year ago. I remember when this was a huge deal. It was a huge deal, right? Oh my gosh, he got rid of all these evil people that were shadow banning us and banning all of our friends for questioning the poke, talking about the election. That's what Trust and Safety did. It was an organization that was formed back in 2016 to address, quote, hate speech, which again is not a real thing. Hate speech is not a thing. It is a catch-all term that censorious authoritarians use to cancel and ban and shadow ban people. It's a term that advertisers use to take control of platforms and get them to ban people. If you don't think that advertisers told Elon that he can't bring Alex Jones back, I got another thing coming. His whole ridiculous story about, oh, my baby. I mean, look, it sucks. I don't want to make light of it. But I also think it's equally bad that Elon Musk uses the passing of, I think one of his children were stillborn or something like that. And he's like, I held that baby, and that's why I can't let Alex back on the platform. Literally what? The reason Alex is not back on the platform is because he knows advertisers would go running and he's desperate to get them back, which is why he hired World Economic Forum beloved Linda Yaccarino, former NBC executive, who had recorded public service announcements about masking up or packing up and going home. Now, the other things they, looked at were like, self-harm and things like that. Sure, fine. But that's not really what they did. What they did was censor political speech. What they did was ban anybody on the right who had questions about the poke. What they did was work with the federal government to infringe on Americans' First Amendment rights, something that nobody has paid for. The Twitter files were pointless. Not one person was prosecuted because of the Twitter files, and many of you knew it at the time. It was fun. It was fun to cover. It was interesting. But we have concrete evidence that the federal government in the United States infringed on citizens' First Amendment rights by using the end around of their intelligence agencies, and nobody got arrested. Nobody got sued. Nobody lost their jobs. This is, again, after that. So then they bring back, remember Yoel Roth? So then they bring back shadow banning. And now yesterday, again, all they're doing is bringing back all the Twitter 1.0 stuff, and this is the end right here. Twitter may add more features. Twitter may add more features and things like that than X may add more features than Twitter had. Sure. Okay. However, it's not better in terms of free speech. People are still getting suspended. It's been over a year and people are still shadow banned. This is something that Elon could have, if he wanted, removed on day one. He hides behind, oh my God, the stack, the programming is so complex. There's hundreds of ways that they suppress accounts. I can't figure it out. Here's the thing. If he cared about it, it would be fixed already. They sure got monetization rolled out fast, didn't they? They sure got those $5 a month subscriptions rolled out fast, didn't they? And guess what a great way to silence your biggest critics are? Get them paid. I don't see a lot of those high-paying accounts, I wonder what Benny Johnson has said about this. Has Benny Johnson said anything about this? Has Alex said anything about this? Has his little buddy Ian Miles Chong said anything about this? Probably not, because they're all getting paid. Right? It's genius. He can control his biggest critics by dangling monetization over their head. Trust and Safety writes, X has a responsibility to put the right systems in place to ensure our communities have access to open, accurate, and safe political discourse. What exactly is safe political discourse? That's why we're hiring more people, updating our policies, and involving our product. This says supporting people's right. Do they have a right to accurate and safe political discourse? Now, if you had said accurate, fine. But remember when it was not accurate to say that, to talk about remember when it was not accurate to talk about the origins of, that thing? Remember when it wasn't safe? Remember when people like Malone and stuff like that were all banned? I don't really, when you're talking about safe speech, you're talking about the exact same crap that they had before. The exact same crap that they always had. This is the end of whatever free speech Elon promised us. That's not happening. And we also know, by the way, that in terms of the terminology, what is accurate, well, that moves, right? Have all those people who got banned for misinformation that turned out to be true, have they been reinstated? As far as I know, most of them have not. You see Abby Libby saying, in other words, you're not a free speech platform. Whose accuracy are you referring to? Seth Weathers says, gross. Shout out to these people actually speaking up about it. Redheaded Libertarian, don't use the dystopian phrases like open, accurate, and safe political discourse. I wrote, you mean Trust and Safety Department returns, rehiring Yoel Roth. This guy, he is on Twitter's good side, but he criticizes, so good for him. Meet the boss, new boss team is the old boss. Safe political discourse, this is not what we asked for. This is all about advertisers. They never got rid of shadow bans. They never got rid of the permanent suspensions. They're already suspending people for manipulating monetization, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, pardon me if I don't want to point out the fact that this is exactly the same as old Twitter, and Elon broke all these promises. Of course he knows about this. Of course he knows. He is desperate to get advertising funds back, and I understand why. I 100% understand why. I really do. But the reality is, he doesn't need to. He could continue to focus on X Premium and all this kind of stuff. Safe political discourse is exactly what it sounds like. It's right back to the old Twitter 1.0.